most of the time the agenda is set for us. And we think it's important that we set the agenda for our communities. So I wanted to take the moment to welcome you all and to introduce some folks, right? And some of them really don't need introduction because many of them, whenever we see them in the street, we stop them and tell them to fix our street. Even though it's not their responsibility, we want them to know that if they happen to find a few dollars for somebody to fix that hole, can they fix the hole? And they will always tell you, it's not my state that does that, or it's not the city that does that. Find out who owns the house in front of the street. Nevertheless, we are grateful and thankful. No, they're gonna turn on the mic.
It's life.
That's what he's doing. He's stuck his hand in his pocket. Don't get no bad ideas here. All right. All right, so let's start again. Are you ready? Are you ready? Almost.
¿Tú puedes checar la página?
This is
Are you
ready?
Y a la página, yeah.
I'm gonna have to give these people a repeat.
Yo hago TikTok.
Now they know what really happens on television shows. They did it 10 times, right? All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Reverend Luis Cortés, founder and president of Esperanza. And I wanted to take a moment here to share with you what we're trying to do and why. We want to begin to have the ability to set the agenda the way democracy is supposed to work. The agenda should come from the ground up, not from above us down. In our city, it has for a long time come down to us. So the question is, how do we organize in order for us to represent the community's needs to the officials who lead our community? I'm very grateful today to introduce a few of the leaders that we have with us today. I want to start with City Councilwoman Kessie Lozada, who's sitting here. There's so many things we can say about Kessie, but the one thing I do want to say is that she's worked representing our community in different ways. First, for the former councilwoman for over 12 years as the chief of staff. So we're very fortunate to have a council person who understands how to get things done. Now, the list for Kessie should be long before she leaves here today. So, but Kessie, thank you. Because there's a lot of work we need you to do for us, so we appreciate you being here. In the same way, we have state representative. Is there going to be another? There he is. We're going to have state representative Danilo Ramos. Danilo also has been representing our community for a little bit of time, not a long time. And so as he grows in leadership, because you've got to grow in leadership within the system in order to get things done. So we appreciate it because Danilo has delivered a lot of to our community, but we need more. We just need more. You know, that's the Rev. Rev's always asking for more. Anyway, so thank you, Danilo. We also have Felicia Parker Cox, who's representing and is on the staff of Congressman Dwight Evans. Where's Felicia? So, Congressman Evans, we're not in this district. Yet, I want to say a few things about Congressman Evans. Esperanza, when it has had and needed support at the federal level, has gotten it from Congressman Evans. And I'm going to give you a classic example. Do you remember when we put the tent up for the vaccines right here in Esperanza? I needed to get the permission from all our congressional leaders, not just Boyle, who supported it. I also needed Congressman Evans. And I was blessed enough to be able to call Evans, Congressman Dwight Evans, and say, Congressman, I need your support. You know what he did? He said, Brad, it's not a problem. Who do I call? So he actually called the city and said, we back Esperanza getting that vaccine site, which was the FEMA 2 site. As a result of getting that site, this area, this zip code, has the highest amount of Latinos and residents vaccinated in the United States. That's the importance of having a relationship with your political leaders. Because when they know us and they know what we are about, it makes it easy for them to make a commitment to help when we ask. So what we're training you to do is how to ask. But you also need to remember, it has to become a relationship. You want to be in a position that when you walk into their offices, the front staff goes, oh, we know who you are. Why? Because you participate in the process consistently. They know who here knows what a super voter is? 1, 2, 2. All right. A super voter is a person that votes almost every single election. Out of 5 elections, they'll vote at least 4 times. You know the first thing a political leader checks? Super voter list. Because it means these are people who are involved, who want to make change. And so you want to be a super voter. You are on a list. You participate on a list that exists, that shows how many times, doesn't show who you voted for. It just tells people you voted and what party you are. That doesn't mean you voted your party. That just means you voted, right? So last but not least, we also are going to have, because he's on the way, I think he called it, he's on the way. Scott? Right. So Scott Heppert is the chief of staff for this district for Congressman Boyle. And Congressman Boyle has been a great supporter here of Esperanza. And so he's coming. He is actually this district's congressperson. So we want to thank Congressman Evans because he's sending staff time to be in a neighborhood that's not technically, it isn't his community, but he cares about us enough to do that. So I want to say in the city, as you know, we have 10 mayoral candidates as of today. We might have another 10 in the next few weeks. We have 3 people running for the district. We have 15 folks who are going to be at large. Everybody give a hand to Scott. He just got here. So we have a lot of things happening for the future of our city. I'm very proud of the fact that you're here and that we're going to be looking at that. I want to highlight some of our staff. Rafael is here, Ángel Ortiz is here, Ivana, Maria, Roberto, and Danelis, and Elisa. Any questions you have about Esperanza, just feel free to ask any of them and we will help you. That's our job. That is our job. Now I'm going to introduce one other person and I'm done. I came here, say what I got to say, get my sandwich and sit down and learn with the rest of the crew. So I want to talk a little bit about Janice Fuentes. She's right here, Janice. Janice was, and I know she was introduced earlier, but